This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Don't shake your body.
Wake your punk ass up. That crust out your eyes.
And we always love to have her here.
Yes.
Tells the greatest stories.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, never mind how great of an actress she is and how many different variety of roles she has taken in her career. Mm-hmm. But as an author, she's effing incredible. I said effing. She's incredible. And the last time we talked about your pussy.
Mm-hmm. That's now Kitty. You know, they made me change it to the paperback to Kitty. Can you believe it? But you can still get the original hardcover pussy.
Oh, you can do the hardcover. Thank you. The Gina Gershon just offered me her hardcover pussy.
The book. The book.
Oh.
Sorry. Calm down.
Just the book. All right.
The paperback's coming out in a month, but they changed it to Kitty.
So I get the soft pussy too.
Yeah, Kitty. They're pussies. They couldn't use the word pussy. They used
so
Kitty.
how's the title? Okay, so say the title now. With the
new soft cover.
Yeah, it's how I.
In Search of Cleo, how I found my kitty.
Oh.
And lost my mind. And the hardcover, which you could still get on Amazon and everywhere, is How I Found My Pussy and Lost My Mind.
Okay, all right.
But bookstores and some places they got all like, ooh, so
Walmart.
they're like, Walmart. Yeah, they was like, we need to change it. And the only good thing about it is, I got to clean up some of the. Things. I was just in such a rush at the end of the time, and I totally spaced out, and I forgot to put the forward in the book. Yeah. So I thought, oh my god, I forgot the forward. So at least I have the forward in the book, but it's the same book.
Yeah, the book. But in the book, is it doing well? Or has it done well?
I don't know.
You don't care? Yeah.
It's not that I don't care. I just, I was a little bit annoyed because they weren't putting it in the right places in bookstores. I kept finding it in the animal section. I'm like, but it's maybe not the right section to put it in. And buried. It's a tricky game, and unless I think some people they got nervous of the title, which I was warned about, so they wouldn't put it in a window or they wouldn't put it at the airport. Which that's
man. You go to the red light district in Amsterdam, there's pussy all in front of the window. That's no big deal. That would be a first, right?
Yeah, and it's strange too because James Bond, all of those films, Octopussy and things like that.
Pussy galore.
Yeah, Pussy galore. How come it's different for them? Oh, well,
because it wasn't the title of the book.
Octopussy was the name of the movie.
Because things were cooler then.
Yeah,
Got it.
But speaking of cool, you're in the new movies, The House of Versace.
Yes.
And you play Donatella Versace.
I do.
This is on Lifetime, the network, October 5th. And I haven't, we got a pre-screener, and I got a chance to see clips from the movie. And the first thing that's extremely striking is how much you were made to look like her. And you play her extremely well, but you never met her?
Never. It's weird that I've never met her because we have so many mutual friends in common, but our paths never crossed. But I watched a lot of her videos and interviews and anything I get my hands on. And then I had some good friends that, I just interviewed them and got little bits here and there. But, in her videos, there's enough videos that you could really watch her. There's some backstage show when she's working backstage in Paris, and you really get a sense of, who she is. And
what was the sense? Who is she, like, in your interpretation? How is she? What is she like?
You know what? I think when people think about Donatella, we all think about the glamorous, like fabulous, platinum hair and party girl and whooping it up, and she is all of that. But I just, this movie, it's really based on the family, and she comes from this hardcore Southern Italian family, which is very tight-knit. Ever since she was 11, her brother was like dyeing her hair white, and she was going to clubs, and she was kind of pulled into this world, which she already had been. Her mother was a seamstress. And so she was a little bit of a princess when she kind of grew up. Like, everyone loved her, and she can go in the shop and get what she wanted. And she was always very generous and would give people things. But by the time Johnny said, you have to be here more and more, she was styling and she was, accessorizing and helping him. And she was really, I don't think she likes being considered the muse because she was so much more. But when all of a sudden he died, suddenly, first of all, if they weren't brother and sister, they probably would have been married. I mean, they were so close. So here's your foundation. He was everything to her. And then not only that, then everyone turns to her to say, okay, you got to take over.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Johnny's a total genius, and it's in the DNA, but it's not her exact style. I think she's a little bit, harder edge and a little bit more rocker. But she did it. But, it's kind of, I think ultimately it's about, following someone's footsteps, who happens to be your brother, who happens to be a genius. And then you go through this transformation. It's really about her finding her own voice because, she kind of fell apart. She became a drug addict and her family went through a lot of trouble and she kind of started losing everything. The company went down the drain. And then once she got her, self together, because I think the family said, listen, unless you go to rehab. And she did. She pulled it together, and then she said, you know what, this is what I'm doing now. And she found her own voice, and the company's doing great now. So,
it's doing great. You see a lot of rappers wearing Versace now.
Oh, yeah.
They all tend to wear the same Versace shirt, so that's how popular it is.
Never step on my vision again.
If I do, it won't be in sandals.
That's Gina Gershon playing Donatella Versace. The movie is called House of Versace. It's on Lifetime on October the 5th. Can you do that accent? What's that? Is that the Italian accent?
It's Italian. She kind of talks like this.
Yeah.
I mean, she really, in the movie, for Lifetime, they kept telling me to articulate. But if you're really doing it right, like, you use subtitles. Because she's all like, oh, yes, I'm, going down the street, and it's like, that's not going to happen. It's like, Sway.
Yep.
Like, Sway, you have to be better. Yeah, she's got a heavy... It's a Calabrian accent. And, when you get Southern, which I didn't know, you have Italian accent, but the more Southern of anywhere you get, everything gets lazy and drawn out. And she is that,
That's how she talks like that. Man.
She's got that kind of very deep voice.
Yo, Gina Gershon, this is good. All right.
Gina, you nailed the accent. You nailed her mannerisms. And Sway spoke earlier about how much they made you look like her. Did you actually have to audition for this, or you were called... We want you, Gina, to do it?
Yeah, they just offered it to me. Because originally they offered it to me, which was, very flattering and nice, but I didn't think I was going to do it. Because I just thought, I don't know, I just felt nervous about playing Donatella because she's so iconic and people have such an image of who she is. And I just think, you could only kind of lose in this situation. But then I read the script and I was like, wow, I'd play this woman even if it weren't Donatella. I really love this story. I love her path. Everything she went through. So I just thought, well, I'll just go for it. Hopefully it works out.
Nice.
Did she actually see the film, like, before any of us saw it, or actually knew it was going to go down?
Dude, I haven't even seen the film yet.
we just October 5th on Lifetime.
Yeah,
right?
No, we just finished it like a month and a half ago. I got a screener from you guys today, or from someone here.
You got it from us?
No, not from you, from
Sirius XM.
Sirius XM.
Spencer, yeah.
And so I haven't seen it because I was just doing the ADR and the looping last week because I wanted to, and so they just finished it and I haven't seen the whole version yet.
Did she know, though, that you guys were going to be working on a film on her life?
Yeah, it's based on a book called House of Versace. And I think, listen, I'm sure she would prefer, and she wanted, if they were doing a story about her, to be, a $90 million movie directed by Scorsese or someone, guess what? So would I. I wish that were the case. So they, they had a couple of things that they wanted us to be aware of, but then they didn't really have anything to do with it.
Sway spoke to Isabella Rossellini once, and she was correcting the pronunciation on certain Italian. You just said Versace.
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 I know. Everyone says Versace, and so did I, but then I was told it's Versace.
Oh, Versace.
Versace.
You're going to change a lot of rappers.
Versace.
Yeah, man.
Monkeys.
I know, but chi is easier to rap with, right?
Yeah,
it's easier to rhyme chi than che.
That is true.
That's
That's
true.
what Versace.
Che.
Me, ye,
we.
Che is just hey. Why you say hey?
You can say sway.
Sway.
There you go. Okay, that's a good rhyme.
Doing some Versace with sway. Hey.
Run with that.
Girl, I'm going to lay, hey.
Gonna lay hey in my Versace with sway. Yeah.
Bounce
I'm
with
going to
it.
be straight down in the bay, hey.
Going down in the bay. Hey. Hey.
Gina and Sway. Hey. My bad. I just got excited about the visual I was painting in my own mind.
You should have let the girls keep
I
going.
know I should have let that go.
Let it rock.
I should let it rock, right? Is it un or un in Connecticut?
It's un.
Say what's up to Gina Gershon.
Rhymes with fun.
What's up, Gina Gershon?
Hey,
Oh my
how you
God.
doing?
I can't believe I'm on the phone with you. I watch you in so many movies. Your lip curl is so sexy. That's all I have to say.
Oh, bless your heart.
I'm staring at him right now. All right. Is that your question?
No, that's no question. Just a comment, man. I'm a fan.
Oh,
That's all.
thank
What's
you.
up, man?
That's very sweet of you.
You're a citizen, bro.
A Sway in the morning.
Now, Gina, what you have coming up next? You're working on anything right now?
I literally just wrapped a movie last night that I've had so much fun on. Lorne Michaels is producing a comedy, and there's a lot of Saturday Night Live people who are working on it, and it's just so much fun. I've had a blast.
Yo, your life, man. It seemed like you're just like the coolest person to hang out with. I would love if we could all just kind of hang out. Would you be?
I would do that.
Have you
guys
ever
are
like
cool.
met people through like radio or TV and that you actually had a connection with and you know hung
Yeah.
out and it just led to other things?
No.
So he wants to hang out with your kitty.
Yeah, he wants to hang out with my kitty cat. I've hung out with people. I mean, I think the problem is like everyone's so busy all the time. I feel like the only time you get to see people is when you're actually
doing this, right?
working. I mean, how often do you get to see your friends? You know, you have them
These
come
are
in.
my friends, unfortunately. So
Oh,
every
smart.
every
Yeah,
single
you
day.
are lucky.
I know, right? Gina, thank you for coming by.
Thank
It's always
you.
good to see you.
It's always good to see you, too.
Absolutely. Can't
You
wait
and
to
your
watch the
sassy
movie.
self.
Yeah, thank you. Versace.
Versace, sassy, shade.
You throw the beat back on, damn it. No,
She like bouncing. Who makes bouncing, by the way? Just
Juicy
J. That's
Juicy J.
Juicy J made the song.
Juicy, that's a good song.
She likes
Did you like
bouncing.
that? All right. She
Gina-
wouldn't mind if I said that.
Sway's just telling all the citizens how beautiful you are, you know, as you were leaving out, and he took a look at your.
No, this is what he said. He said you got a nice ass.
I can't.
that, I guess?
Gina Gershon.
I'm sorry.
You just
don't.
objectify me all the time, Sway.
I know. Does that make you feel like an inanimate object that I just want
Yeah.
to take home and it just?
And what?
I think it's your style.
That's I'm a little
your
aggressive
way.
and wild.
It's okay. You are who you are.
You are who you are, right?
Like you and Popeye.
That-
Stay away from black men, Gina.
Gina, you don't mind black men, right?
Black men. I'm black too.
Yeah. See. You got black in you.
You know, I was like raised. I have a black cousin, and I have a woman from Mississippi who raised me.
Yeah.
Who's like my granny.
Yes, we get along. Are you kidding me?
I am. My friends who are black, they're like always like, oh yeah, you're black, so they talk like this. I know. I feel very, you know. I got in trouble with my books. I was making comments saying how I like black people more than white people. I mean, it's terrible. I know
No,
it
it's
sounds
not.
racist.
Let's elaborate. Come on. Yeah. How come?
Well, you know what? I think it's just an emotional thing because I was really raised. I had a black nanny. She was like living with us because her kids were mean to her. So she came when I was 2 years old. She taught me how to play Jews harp, but she was everything. No, she did. She's the one who taught me how to play. I do that. But if and whenever I'd get upset, I'd go to her room instead of my parents. So like I have this connection. And all I know is this sounds so terrible. I'm gonna get in trouble. But if I have if like some, you know, white people are walking down the street and they're like, oh, we want to take your picture or this, I get really tense. And for some reason, if it's like, you know, black people, especially like old people, I'm hugging them and kissing them. Like, here's my number, call me. There's just something. It's true, but it's a weird, I feel
That's what's up.
safer or something.
You feel safer? You can feel
I feel
safe
very
with me.
emotionally
You feel,
connected.
come here.
No, not you.
Okay, all right. Gina Gershon, ladies and gentlemen. We love
Thank you,
it here.
Gina. Bye-bye. All right.
I like black people too. Just to let you know, that's one more thing we have in common.
People are people.
Yeah, no, that's true, and I like white people too.
They're okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.